Hello again and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you what I wanted to show you in my previous video, which got cut off, which is how the reveal looks after you do the embossing technique. So this is the embossing folders I used in my previous video. I've already did an inking technique on a piece of paper here, and also I have my VersaFine ink. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up my die cutter, which I'm using the Sizzix Big Shot. It does have two levels, and for the technique that I'm using, it's going to be level 1. Depending on the die cut system that you are using, check for embossing folders and how to set those up. Now that I have my die machine ready for cutting, I'm going to spray the back of my card with just some regular water with a little spritzer. And what this will do is make the paper more pliable so that it doesn't tear, especially with the embossing folder that I'm using, because that one has a deeper impression and it can tear the paper. So now I'm going to go ahead and use my VersaFine ink and ink up the front panel of my embossing folder. This one is the area that's going to create that black background you'll see. And I'm just going to make sure that the whole area is covered so that I don't have any blank spots. But it's okay if there's something there. It doesn't have to be 100%. So now I'm going to go ahead and place my slightly damp paper onto the other side of the embossing folder. And it will kind of stick there because the water will help keep it in place. So I'm going to gently close it up so that it doesn't move around so that I can get it set up for my die cut machine. So for my Sizzix Big Shot, I only need to use one of the plates to hold the embossing folder as I pass it through the machine. So I am on level 1 for my Sizzix Big Shot, which works perfectly with the embossing folder. And you can see there's a bunch of instructions there, and it kind of gives you a guide for what you need to use depending on what you're die cutting or embossing. So I only needed to run it through the machine once, and now I can show you what it looks like. And here's the reveal that I missed from the last video. And as you can see, all of the ink has transferred onto the paper. I like the way it came out. It's not 100%, and you can certainly go back. You just have to be very careful when you do that. But basically, that is what this technique does, transferring the ink onto the paper. Now I'm going to do some paint splatter. I already have some white paint diluted with water, and it's the same as before where I flick it onto the paper. Now that the paint is dry, I'm not going to use tape, but instead I'm going to use my Zig two-way glue, which is repositionable, because I think it works better with the embossing because there's so many little grooves in there and it makes better contact with the paper. What's nice about this glue is you can see as it starts to dry out, when it turns white, it actually makes better contact with the paper, so I have better control. And I decided to use a foam tape, just one strip, for my thank you sentiment, and I already made these ahead of time. It's great to make a bunch of sentiments so you don't have to think about it when you're making cards. And here are some examples of other cards that I made using the exact same technique. And I wanted to show the versatility of using embossing folders for all kinds of card projects or projects beyond that. This particular card I actually debossed by mistake, but it actually turned out pretty good, so I'm happy with it. And in this example, I just used a white piece of cardstock with the black ink. So you can create any design with any color you wish. So I hope this video has been very helpful in letting you see the many uses of your embossing folder. Stay tuned for some future videos because I have a couple of others I want to do. But here are some close-ups of the cards that I did. I thank you so much for joining me here, and I'll see you next time.